This is Manish Johari from Awaken the Genius. We have seen all through these years that marks are very important. Every student wants to score well, and every parent feels very proud and happy when their child comes home with a good report card. The amount of competition in the world today is huge. The amount of money that parents are spending on their child's education is huge. But at the end of all this, every time there is an exam, you can see the children struggling to study. Their anxiety levels are high, their stress levels are high, because all of them want good marks. To get good marks, we have to study. So let's examine the study process. All students do typically 5 things when they study. First, they open their books and read. Second, they underline important words and make notes. Third, they memorize these notes in some way. Fourth, they go to old question papers and hope that the same or similar question is repeated for me. And finally, they pray that they can recall the answer during exam time. We help students in the first 3 aspects. That means we help them read faster with understanding, we help them make brain-friendly notes, and we help them memorize better, resulting in better marks. That is what we do. Let us find out a little bit more about each of these. The first aspect is how do we open our books and read. The amount of time available to study has come down because of the amount of time spent in traveling and on social media. But on the other hand, the quantum of information to be absorbed has gone up exponentially. So, if the student is going to read slowly, as they have been recommended and conditioned, if they're going to read slowly, how are they ever going to cope up? Not enough time, too much to read. I would like you now to just take a 5-second break and think about the number that comes to your mind when I ask you, how many words in a minute do you read? Would you like to double this reading speed with understanding? Yes? Will it make a difference to your life? Well, definitely. Incidentally, this is the first myth that our education system is dealing with. We all have heard that we need to read each and every word slowly. If we do that, we will never be able to cope up. That is the first myth that needs to be broken. Incidentally, my life and business partner Jas is the world speed reading champion, and she can teach you how to read faster with understanding. The second aspect in how we study is we have been asked to underline and highlight important words and make notes. Let's see for ourselves how good or not so good this is. There are 30 words which will be flashed on your screen now. I want you to see them for about 15-20 seconds and then we'll see what happens. Alright, here goes. Okay, these words are typically the ones that we have underlined, so I just picked them up from a book and I put them up here. How many of these words can you remember? Would you take a guess? Typically, what we found is that everybody says they have understood all the words, but they say they cannot recall all of them. Typically, they say they recall about 8 to 10 words. Now, that brings us to the second myth. We all believe that understanding implies recall. We have seen, you have understood all these words, but you could not recall all of them. Because they have been written and presented to you in a list format, a linear list which is in a single color. Let's see if there is a way out. The same 30 words will now be presented to you in a slightly different way, and now let's see what happens. The same 30 words were presented to you for the same time to the same brain. And now, if I ask you, how many of these words can you remember? Your answer would be probably much more than the linear list that was shown to you. What happened? The words were the same, the time was the same, the brain was the same. All that changed was the way the information has been presented to you. Let's do a small experiment. I would like you now to close your eyes for 5 seconds and think of the word car, C-A-R, car. Open your eyes. What came to your mind? Almost everybody tells me that they've seen an image of the car, which had some shape and some color. Would you reflect on how you are feeding information to the brain today? You are feeding it as CAR in your notes, in your textbooks, in your electronic media. But how did the brain process it? It saw an image that had some shape, had some color. Because that is the natural way for the brain to work. If that is so, what if we introduce color and image in the same format that we had shown you earlier? Let's see if by introducing color and images, will it make a difference to your attention and recall. Let's take the same 30 words for the same time of 20 seconds and now see what happens. Wow. Wasn't this a lot more attractive to look at? Didn't your brain enjoy seeing this? Well, this is called a mind map. Mind map combines the left and right and tweaks the way you feed your information to your brain and makes it more brain friendly. This technique has been alive for the last 50 years, given to the world by this gentleman called Tony Buzan. We are the first Indians to get the license to train others and were handpicked by him to establish the only center in the country, the Buzan Center, Pune. So, the third aspect of how we study brings us to memorizing. How do we remember things? As a student, if I ask you, how many times do you have to listen to a song before you can memorize it? You would probably say maybe once or twice and we can remember the song. We can remember the song for months and years together. But why does the same brain then need to read that chapter from the textbook 4 or 5 times and yet not be able to recall it at will? Many of us have felt that a week after the exam is over, that portion is magically wiped out from our head. But the song remains with us for months and years together. The third myth, repeated revisions are needed. Actually, they're not. If we are able to feed information to the brain in a brain-friendly way, you do not need repeated revisions. For example, this text, having 367 words in a typical linear format, all the information here is now converted to this mind map. Which is better to look at? Definitely this one. All the information from there is here. Your brain will remember better, recall better, understand better. Just imagine if all your text could be converted to this. That is what we do at awakenthegenius.org. All you have to do is be prepared to score more marks. And if you're interested in doing that, all you need to do is go to our website and pick up the study skills package. Once you do that, well, you will be trained on how to read faster, how to make brain-friendly notes using mind maps, and how to memorize them better. We have also shared with you the revision formula. If you're interested in that, please do this needful and pick up Awaken the Genius from the Play Store or from our website. Wishing you all the very best. We also have a book written by Jas and myself, Manish, to help you do this. All the best.